So, welcome folks to another video. So this is the first video on my channel which I'm going to be releasing, and so I'm basing this off a post I put on my Instagram at LegoFiguresJoyC. I'll leave that in the description down below so you can go follow that. And this is 24 mocks I created from the Star Wars saga. Goes from Phantom Menace all the way up to Force Awakens. And I'm going to be doing this video on basically just summarising each one, and then later videos I'm going to be releasing 4 videos with 6 mocks each, how to build, and some more information on each vehicle. I'm going to give a big shout out to Queen Elizabeth II and at @JMoreHolland over on my Insta for getting me to 100 followers, and JT Brecken for the idea of this video. I'll leave him down below so you can go check him out. He's also on YouTube and he's a really great YouTuber with some great LEGO videos, so make sure you go check him out. And so without further ado, let's kick this off. So let's start over here with Phantom Menace. So to kick off my mocks, I wanted to do something for the Trade Federation, of which I did. So I went for an AAT, also known as the Armoured Assault Tank. So I created this with a rotatable turret, because it's a tank, of course. And I added a clear piece you can sort of see on the bottom there to make it look like it's gliding along. You can see this by the sort of clearance you have beneath the tank there. And that is pretty much the first mock I came up with, because it has a little bit of detail with the side turrets and the main cannon. But I'm not going to give too much information now because that's losing content for videos. So I'm going to move on to the next one, which was the Naboo 1 Starfighter, famous for blowing up the Trade Federation blockade ship near the end of the Phantom Menace. And this is famous because Anakin Skywalker flew in the ship near the end of that film, blowing it up by spinning, because that's a good trick to quote the film. And that's what I made, because we had 2 sets of this come out. The first one wasn't so good, it was quite metallic looking, but the UCS set kind of fixed that and made it look really good. So I based the mock off the UCS set. So that's pretty much I can say about these until I do the later videos. So yeah, so that's the first 2 mocks. So let's move on to Attack of the Clones. So Attack of the Clones were the 3 but not people recognised, and I can see why. People message me, what are these, because these were quite interesting ones, these are quite unique ones. So we're going to start over here at Obi-Wan Starfighter. Someone did say, was it a Jedi Starfighter? It is in fact Obi-Wan's I based this off. And I couldn't really make it that detailed because I couldn't add a astromech here, because you can't attach a piece to the side like that to a piece without adding another piece on. But I tried that, it didn't look so good, so I'm keeping it as what it is there. See, that's Obi-Wan Starfighter, got all the curves of the Starfighter down here and along here to make it look like a Starfighter in sleek design. The next one I created was something I based off an image. I then found out later what the tank I actually built was. This is in fact the clone turbo tank, not the clone turbo laser tank, which I was thinking it was, and I made this instead. So the clone turbo tank is known for its sleek design and curved hull. It was also known for being flat and quite powerful in terms of its cannons, which are seen here on the side of the tank. I gave the tank a little bit of clearance with a 3x3 plate, which allowed it to look like it is hovering, just like the AAT we saw before. And then these flat pieces here kind of give off that design as well. So it also has like a little cockpit here, and it's known for being a sleek design, so I made it quite low to the ground as possible, and that is shown with how I built that. The last one, not people knew. No one knew, I don't think. And this is in fact the speeder bike, which is known for Count Dooku's escape from the Geonosian arena to his hideout where he battles Anakin and Obi-Wan and then eventually Yoda. And so this speeder bike was a sleek design, so it has 2 bits that stick off the front and the 2 panels that stick back like this. And it's just known for him basically standing on here with his feet on these 2 bits and just gliding off into the distance. It's only a small scene with his cloak billowing in the back, but it's based off that. So I can't really say much more about these, so I'm going to move on to Revenge of the Sith. Now I'm going to skip these 3 out for now because they're Clone Wars, so I'm going to go straight to Revenge of the Sith. I'm going to stick with the films for now, and then we'll come back to TV shows and non-Skywalker Saga films such as Rogue One. So here we are here with a Venator class Star Destroyer, a favourite ship of everyone. So there's only been 2 LEGO sets, and the latest one's been released this year in 2020 in the summer as we are now, and it's a really cool looking set, so go make sure you go check that out. But check the original model out with Senator Palpatine as well, which Senator Palpatine's cruiser, if I'm right. I might double check that for the next video. But I built this so it had its sleek looking design with its curves and a 1x4 at the bottom there to give it the sort of flying look it's above the ground. So I also had to take a while to find this red plate here, to make it look like the plate down the front of a ship. But I also made little notches here which show the little grooves of hangar bays on the ship. The piece on top I had to find a while to show the dual cockpits of the ship, where the bays are, where the general and admirals tend to stand to look out for hyperspace and during battle. But I can't really talk more about that because I'm going to give the more details on the ship during the build videos and show you how to build that. That is going to be a fun one to build if you want to go check that out. Next one, everyone knew this one straight off, and I just want to say congratulations to everyone who picked this one up. This was the General Grievous' Starfighter. This is probably the one that took me the most time to build because I wanted to get the design perfect because I'm a big fan of General Grievous. And this one was hard because I built each side like this, but I had to build them separately. So one was the reverse of the other. So it took me a while to make sure I got that right. But this is a pretty cool design, I believe, of the ship. People have credited me for this because of this curved design here, which shows the front of the ship. I also added this clear plate here so it doesn't topple backwards. And it's really cool because the colour scheme was perfect, the brown is in the right place, and all the green and the cream was brilliant. So that's all really I can much say about the Revenge of the Sith, and we're going to move next on to the first film ever made in Star Wars, as you all know, was A New Hope. So I'm going to move to these three down here for A New Hope, because those four, as you know, are Rebels, Freemaker series, and Rogue One, and we're going to move to them eventually. So, first ship ever to appear on a screen under the name of Star Wars was the Tantive 4, manned by Princess Leia and Admiral Antilles. So, here we go. Here it is. So, known for its 6 engines and cone sort of hammerhead shape at the front. However, it was not a hammerhead cruiser because that is known more for the Rogue One hammerhead, which is like that as it flies, not flat like that, because that's the one that is known for pushing the Star Destroyer into the planet force field generator instead. But I made this so it had two escape pods on top. I didn't make it ones on the bottom because it would overbalance it, but you can sort of get the sense of a ship from what it is there. Next one was Luke's land speeder. So I tried to make this as close to sand colour as I could. So the sand piece I found were tan, so I made this tan, and I also matched it to this mark here, which I'll show you later. But I tried to go for something darker, and it is this bit here for the seats. And one of the engines had to be different because it's all known for Luke's land speeder being built out of scrap parts, and he fixes it up himself. So I made it with some metallic design there with the greyness, and if I could have made some microfigures, I would have tried and slot something in there, but it just didn't look right. So that's how Luke's land speeder. This one, new one, some people figured it out, and there's one person I just want to give a big shout out to Galactic Bricks for DMing me with the right answer for what this is. This is in fact a mini mock of Mos Eisley, not even microfigure scale, this is just a distant mock of Mos Eisley with its towers, and it's known for the round buildings that are tan coloured, so there you go, there's your tan buildings, and I made the sand colour match that of Luke's land speeder just to make sure that it looked the same, so I didn't get any inaccuracies. And that is really good. I feel like these two mocks are going to be ones people are going to want to build the most. It doesn't matter what colour schemes for these, you guys can make these two whichever way you want. This, if you're going to build this, I would go with colour scheme, but you can also make the base plate whatever colour you want. So I'm going to move on to the next bit now, which is going to be the one people have been questioning me a lot about. The favourite set of everyone's I've picked up on was Empire Strikes Back Slave 1 set. However, a lot of people say the Slave 1 only came out 3 times. That is correct. They were larger. A lot of them were large, some of them were tiny. So I made a mock of this, so that's the Slave 1 set. A couple of pieces, like this piece here, is unique to a couple sets. So I like to fish that one out, so you might want to build this in a different way when I show you how to build that later on in videos. But I built it so it had a hangar bay and with the curved cockpit area to show when the ship flips from landing position to fighting position. But Cloud City here is probably my favourite mock out of the whole set because I managed to create a Cloud City cloud car, which I managed to attach with a clip, small clip, to the side of Cloud City. I added a clear base plate to make it look like Cloud City's floating, and if I do this I can turn Cloud City round and it looks like the Cloud City cloud car is flying around Cloud City, so which I think is quite a cool little design I added in there. But this is absolutely fun to make. I honestly say this is the least hard to build out of all these mocks here, after probably the TIE Fighter. So I'm going to leave you with those thoughts on these ones. Let's DM me on Insta at LegoFixJoC if you want to give an opinion on any of these mocks, or comment down below which one is your favourite. So I'd like to hear from you guys what's your favourite mock, as you can see so far. Next one, obviously, Return of the Jedi, known for its little cuddly Ewoks and the closing of the original trilogy. This could have been the last film, but they went and made a prequel trilogy and then eventually a sequel trilogy. Thank you, Disney. Or not. And so I brought in the Imperial shuttle, speeder bike, and a TIE Interceptor. It's not a TIE Striker. A TIE Striker only has the top 2 wings, and that is seen in Rogue One. They will never actually use further from Rogue One, so don't claim that's a TIE Striker, please. This is an Imperial shuttle, though, known for being long, having a long cargo bay and head with like sort of tilt down in front of it. It's known for having two wings along the side and a dorsal fin at the top for sleek design, and blue engines always at the back. It's known for being large because it would support a lot of crew, normally about 6 people in the cockpit and quite a few actually in the base, as we know from Rebel troopers being stored in it when they assaulted Endor in Return of the Jedi. Speaking of Endor, I decided to make a speeder bike because everyone wanted a speeder bike when I got round to asking people what mock I should build. And so I built a speeder bike, and I think this is probably the nicest looking out of all the mocks because I built it so it's nice and sleek along the top, 2 handlebars, obviously engines, but even the long beams here and the little green like pads here look like they should do from the actual speeder bike sets I bought in the past. So I feel these are actually quite nice looking, and the green base plate just sums it all up, but it's in a forest. And it looks like it's floating, because I can put my finger underneath here, and it's floating very high up in the air, to be honest. It's a 1x2 pole piece, 1x1 pole piece, sorry. I'm just holding that up. Now move on to the TIE Interceptor. This is going to be hardest to build for you guys, because not people have this piece. This piece is a unique piece of having the TIE Fighter sort of design. I'll hold it up to camera so you can see that, and I'll clip that back on there, but you can just build that like that if you want it, with the red piece in the middle as a cockpit. It's built nicely with 2 similar wings, so it's got a design like that, so it's really easy to build. So if you want to build that, go ahead. It's a really nice one to build, so I suggest this one is one people build. So look out for these videos when I build them. These are going to be the last 6. These ones and Cloud City and the Slave one are going to be the last 7 I build in the video. Next move on to Force Awakens, which is the film everyone was waiting for. We finally got Rey and Finn, BB-8, Poe, and Han Solo came back. So I built TIE Fighter. This is not a normal TIE Fighter, as everyone knows, because the Force Awakens TIE Fighter were known for having black one side. One sec, let me put that back on. And having red on the other side. So a lot of people did say it was no TIE Fighter, but no, and it's also got the red cockpit. And well, you probably can't see that in the light. Let me take it off. Red cockpit. I've just broken the set. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to put that to the side for now. So I'll put that aside and fix that later. But yeah. And then this, the Ranfar, was probably a really cool creature. We finally got some sort of monstrous creature. It wasn't the Sarlacc in a Star Wars video and film. So I built this out of some special pieces, especially this cone sort of piece here, to give it like a round bit for the rear of the alien. I also made tentacles out of branch pieces and a little claw sort of beak mouth using a claw piece. So these are pieces that people really like to see on a creature. People did message me and was like, make this creature please. We need a creature as a mock. There you go, TIE Fighter's fixed. And so I'm going to move on to Clone Wars now, because this was what people wanted so much. I made no one Starfighter, sent pictures out, and people was like, make an Anakin Skywalker Starfighter. So this is probably the last mock I built. Was the Anakin Starfighter, because of its curved edge there and there. It also has the RTD2, unlike one Starfighter. I did manage to get an astromech for this one. And the top of it is perfectly detailed at the back, and the front it's nice and smooth because of these unique cheese wedge pieces here. Cheese wedge slopes, which are 1x2s in terms of how where they stick. I've just stuck that on wrong. But it is a special mock. There you go. It's a special mock because I had to make the 2 Jedi Starfighters together. And a set that everyone likes from Rookies was the Garlic Droid. The Rookies was a series where we saw Domino Squad's Heavy sadly sacrifice himself to blood metal droids. It was a sad episode in Clone Wars, episode 3 I believe of season 1, but it was still a brilliant series and a brilliant episode. But this was in fact a really great mock I built as a gonk droid, and I built this, which is a droid gunship, and a lot of people did love this, especially in the episode where it killed Saw Gerrera's sister during the uprising on their home planet. They're very infamously lone but very powerful ships. In fact, so I'm just going to put these aside, and if you want to see how to build these, make sure to check out the videos in a later date. I'll probably put them into a playlist, maybe, if anyone likes these. So I'm going to put these back. If we can get this video to, let's put like goal. Let's put like goal. If we can get this video to 30 likes, I will make sure to put all these videos into a playlist for you, so you can double check these out whenever you want. Now, obviously, after Revenge of the Sith, before the Rise of the Empire, we had Rebels. In like the 18 years before Luke grew up, we had Rebels. So this is a Imperial troop transport, famous for being on Lothal and on many other planets. Star Wars Rebels was a really fun TV series. The characters are brilliant. Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger, Zeb, Sabine Wren was a Mandalorian, Harrison Dula, who was a Twi'lek, Zeb, who was a really cool, strong creature, like Chewbacca, but not the same. And we also had Chopper, a really fun astromech who's really cheeky. But here we go, so we had this, and so I made this more out of that series, based off a TV series, with its curved sort of front, turret at the back, and I thought this is quite the sleekest design I built. So make sure you go check this one out if you are a Rebels fan. Obviously, another Lego animation for TV series, not like Ninjago, was the Freemaker series. Brilliant series, I think. Very cool storyline with Nare, which was like a Imperial agent who was also a Sith Lord, which was pretty cool because it brought us a new Sith Lord into the Star Wars universe. But this one was the Arrowhead, which was a special ship which only a Force user known as Rowan Freemaker was able to conjure up, because he knew where to get the Kyber Crystal, which is here, which powers the ship, which powers a blade at the front, which was like a lightsaber, so it could cut through anything from a Star Destroyer to the Death Star itself. And it was a really cool ship, and it flew really fast, and to be honest, the whole series is brilliant, so go check that out over on Disney Plus, or go and check that out over on YouTube. Brilliant series, so make sure you, if you're into that stuff, go watch those series, such as Clone Wars, Rebels, Prequel series, or just the whole Skywalker Saga in general. Now, one of my favourite non-Skywalker Saga moments is probably Rogue One itself, until I left these to last, and this is Imperial. It was another version of Imperial troop transport. This is a cargo ship itself, known from the cargo at the bottom, which is why the oranges are, and it's known for obviously transporting rebel soldiers to the Battle of Scarif at the end of Rogue One. But I'm not going to talk more about that because I can release that later on the other videos, so make sure you go check those out. And finally, this is not an AT-AT as many people have said, it is an AT-ACT, standing for All-Terrain Armoured Cargo Transport. Not an AT-AT, which is an All-Terrain Armoured Transport. That's what the orange bits at the side, they are cargo doors, which left to a cargo bay, so they transport, could go through all terrains and transport ships, speeder bikes, and all sorts to different battles. And so that's really what I can say about these two. It's really fun mock to build, and if you want to make that into an AT-AT, you go ahead. You've just got to change the orange out for some other plates, maybe. Or just take the orange plates out completely and just drop this bit down, whatever. But make sure you check out those videos when I release them. And these two were really fun together, so a good set to go together. And so that's the video, guys. So hope you enjoyed that. So make sure to hit like and subscribe and look up for the future videos. And I'll see you guys next time.